So, Steve, as an archaeologist, you have to always be looking at the ground, and you never know what you might find if you keep your eyes peeled. So I think if we walk along here just a little bit, because I'm getting a sense, you look at the other bits of material culture lying around, I'm getting the sense that there might be something interesting that is present under the soil at this location.
Will there be any ancient viruses in here that I should need to be wary of? You'd never open a vessel on a dig, would you?
Well, we'd certainly be careful because, as I'm sure you're aware, there are some particularly little tiny microorganisms that successfully manage to survive in space. So it's not impossible that some exist in any organic residues that remain inside the bottle. So let's be very carefully open, pointing it away from you. If there are any noxious fumes,
I'll just point it at Nigel.
At the camera, our illustrious camera person will get the benefit of these noxious
You can
fumes.
stare down the barrel. And he's still standing, so that must have been safe, or it's very slow acting. And look, that was...
420 bedrooms.
Price
slashed.
How's this? 3-piece single suites. This is for a bedroom. Luxury polyester. Timber grains, $79.
Timber grains.
Timber grain polyester.
Oh my God.
We're talking the good stuff that Lacorne used in July 1969. Amazing, isn't it?
So is this the biggest news in South Australia?
There was something on the front page. I didn't understand it. Trio in moon area. What does that mean? Apollo 11, 3 space pioneers.
Look at the date on this though, Steve. Look at the date.
This is Adelaide, July 1969. 1969.
Think about it. Space.
Moon. This is the moon landing.
Do you remember what date they landed on the moon? July 21st.
Wow. So this is the midnight edition. This is 2 days before Americans land on the moon. No one else has had much success in space, had they, before the Americans? Nothing else got up there. The Americans had a... What's that?
Oh, that little beep. It's very familiar. I think that's the beep of the USSR satellite Sputnik 1.
Oh my goodness, it's coming in too. I think it's going to land here in South Australia. Hello.
It's a piece of space history right there in your hands.
Wow. That is a model that you, Dr. Alice Gorman, have of Sputnik.
I must say this model was made by one of my former students, Alex.
Yes.
Who was a space enthusiast and, as you can see, a fine model builder. So this is an exact quarter-scale model of Sputnik 1, launched in 1957, the first human object in Earth orbit.
What's this?
It's an antenna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this was to pick up command signals from Earth and also relay signals back to the Earth.
And is it like that to have reduced wind resistance?
At this stage, actually, we had no idea what the upper atmosphere was like.
Wow.
So it's true there is some, depending on solar cycles, there is some resistance up there. Well, we didn't know that. Russians didn't know that. US didn't know that. So, the aerodynamic or the microgravity dynamic qualities of this satellite were being tested for the first time when it went into orbit.
Amazing, and welcome everyone, by the way, to the preview for episode 118 of the Adelaide Show with Dr. Alice Gorman, who's a space archaeologist, as an emerging...
Say it again. Yeah.
Dr. Alice Gorman, space archaeologist. It's an emerging field in the realm of academia. She's a proper archaeologist. I shouldn't have said that. You're going to hit me now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a proper archaeologist.
And this is the sort of stuff that fascinates her. Especially the ones that get left behind up there in space, some of which, they make it back down.
This one burnt up long ago, but there's so many others that are still up in Earth orbit.
Well, what the heck is that?
Like this, let's look at this. This, it might not look like much.
It looks like something out of my old HG70 panel van.
Well, this is actually a genuine piece of a rocket. The reason I'm holding it right now is because it's made of materials and it's robust enough to have survived the crash of the rocket it was part of. But just look at the detail on this. Look at this beautiful metal mesh.
So that's metal mesh too?
Yeah, these are all...
So this would have been bombarded with radiation up there, wouldn't it?
Well, this would have been internal to the spacecraft had it made it to orbit.
Right.
The reason it survives, though, is because when this rocket, which actually didn't make it to orbit, crashed long before that point, is because it's so robust. It's because of the materials that matter. But look at this. Like, you might find this in a car wrecking yard or something, and you wouldn't think anything of it. But this is an extraordinary piece of technology.
But look at that. Like, someone has grabbed their spanner to tighten that.
Yes. You are exactly right. All of these speak of actual human hands and human people who meshed this stuff, who tightened that nut, who twisted the wire. And then look at this, the way it's dented and the damage on it, which is how it was made and how it was returned to Earth. Wow. So for me, this is like, it's a bit of bloody funny pipe. You might find it under your kitchen sink and think nothing of it. Yeah. But this is a piece of rocket history. This is a piece of space history.
Well, and this is the stuff that you study, and it gives you insights into us as humans.
Yes, exactly so. Right. Exactly so.
You're going to find out more about this amazing journey into space that humankind has taken in episode 118. It comes out later tonight, the Adelaide Show with Dr. Alice Gorman. Anything to chip in, Nigel?
No, I'm all good.
You're all good? He does get hot under the collar with some of the topics we bring up in our conversation tonight.
There were heated discussions, weren't there?
Most of that should be edited out.
Some of it will be edited out.
Heavily beeped.
Just think, in podcasts, no one can hear you scream. Dr. Alice Gorman, that was fascinating in discovering OSA Drink of the Week. I have one last question for you. How long does it take you to buy wine at the bottle shop? Because this took a long time to make this selection tonight.
Well, it is very fortunate in this modern world we live in that bottle shops are indeed not filled to the ceiling with dirt, through which we are obliged to excavate to get to our tipple of choice. So, in general, I'm happy to report to you it is a much more rapid process than we have gone through tonight.
Fantastic.